What's going on, y'all? So the boxing world is on fire right now. Like, I'm looking forward to all the different matches that I'm seeing. I'm like, I want to see that fight. I can't wait to see that fight. I really can't wait to see that fight. Next month, we got Terrence Bud Crawford versus Amir Khan. Y'all know I feel like Terrence Bud Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. I think he got the skills to pay the bills. I think he got a mean streak. And I think he's capable of getting any and everybody out of there. That's just my opinion. I'm ready to see. I'm actually looking forward to see Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados is from the Chicago area. Danny Swift Garcia, we know what he about. I think it's going to be an exciting matchup. Adrian can bang. Granados, he can bang. We saw him give Adrian Broner a lot of problems. That was a very, very close fight. Considering the fact that Adrian was once known as this promising prospect, this promising guy in boxing. A lot of people feel like he was going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. I never thought that, but I thought that Adrian was a very talented boxer. Nonetheless, Adrian Granados gave Adrian Broner a run for his money. And right now, today, I saw that press conference with Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale. Listen here. The bad blood is so evident. Like, I'm not lying to y'all. Deontay, the way Deontay talking, whoo, I don't know. He might send that boy to the upper room. And I'm not advocating. I'm using that as a figure of speech. I'm not saying he's going to kill the man or take the man's life for real. He wants to knock Dominic Breazeale out and want to hurt him badly. Now, for those who don't know, they had some tension. I don't know how long ago this was. I'm really just kind of picking up on the information. They got into it once upon a time. Deontay Wilder was with his brother. Dominic Breazeale claims that, they jumped him. Deontay Wilder and his guys jumped him while he was with his wife and his kids and so on and so forth. Deontay Wilder said, no, ain't nobody jumped you. He's so scared. He think I was by myself. He thinking it's 20 dudes. He's so scared. So let me just analyze the press conference itself, right? I see a lot of people saying Deontay Wilder is nothing but a disgrace. He's being disgraceful. How dare he act like this? America should be ashamed to have him as a heavyweight champion of the world. First of all, America should not be ashamed to have him as a heavyweight champion of the world. People that are saying that are individuals who are fans of Anthony Joshua. They feel like Deontay is ducking him, so they're trying to say we should be ashamed of him for how he's acting like a fighter acts. How a lot of fighters, I'm not going to say most, how I've seen a lot of fighters act in press conferences when they have bad blood with other individuals. And for the most part, I've seen other guys that act like that. Some guys be celebrated, not just in boxing, across other sports, all across the board. But when it's Deontay Wilder, they don't like it. They hate Deontay. Look how he talking. I'm looking like fam. And in boxing, we've seen dudes have bad blood between each other. If Dominic Breazeale was acting like that to Deontay, I wouldn't feel no type of way because that's what happens in a combat man-to-man sport when individuals genuinely don't like each other, right? So this whole thing, and we should be ashamed because he talks like that? No, because America wasn't ashamed of Mike Tyson when he was going around talking crazy to people. They can act like it now, but people were engaged in that and they really, really like that. So, and they celebrate Mike to this day for a lot of that stuff and because of his fighting abilities, of course. But we shouldn't be ashamed of that. Oh, you should be ashamed of Deontay Wilder. He has no skills. He's flawed. Well, I asked this question, and this is no disrespect to anybody from the UK or anybody from another country that's on my channel at all. It sounds crazy because Deontay doesn't fight a technical style. He's knocking guys out. So should the UK have been ashamed when Ricky Hatton kept getting dropped over and over again, when he kept getting whooped after the Floyd Mayweather gave him his first victory? No, you shouldn't be ashamed of him. Ricky Hatton had a great run. He ran into some guys that were superior to him, and he lost. So I'm not going to be ashamed of Deontay Wilder for not being this technician that everybody wants him to be. But there's one thing that I really, really, really want to address from Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale pissed me off when he made this comment. He appeared just like when he said this, it was cringeworthy and it was clown-like. Not cringeworthy because, it's too violent or anything like that. It's a combat sport. Nothing like that. Hey, it is what it is. As long as nobody's saying nothing about him hurting as long as nobody's saying anything about hurting anybody's kids or wife or anything like that, or any family members outside of that, I'm cool. Say what you want to say to the fighter, that's fine. But when Dominic Breazeale said that I didn't understand what you were saying because I didn't have the Urban Dictionary, Dominic Breazeale sounded like such a sucker when he said that for so many reasons. First of all, the Urban Dictionary. I didn't know, Dominic. I didn't know you was from Bel Air, and you don't know that urban talk, and you don't know what he's saying when he's saying that ghetto language, because that stuff sound like code talk to me, and that's the same rhetoric, that code talk, that a lot of the bourgeois elite use to talk down on a black man when he feel like he doesn't articulate himself the way that they want him to. So we're going to say, I don't have the Urban Dictionary. That sounds so clown-like. You talking about you as a half-black man, throwing another, even if you half black, you black. We know what that is. You black. People don't see you as half-black. They see you as black. So you as a black man, when you throwing another black man's speech under the bus, you trying to make fun of his speech and talking about you need the Urban Dictionary. It sounds like you saying, I don't do that ghetto talk. I don't do that ghetto talk. As trying to clown African American vernacular, and the fact that Deontay isn't the most articulate guy, that type of stuff irks my soul. And I've spoken on this in previous videos, because him saying that gives credence for other individuals outside of the African American community, the black community, to talk down on Deontay for the way he talks and try to perpetuate this stereotype of the black dumb Southern man. Because that's what they like to say about black men, specifically in the southern part of America. They say that they're dumb, they can't talk right, and all this and all of that. We know Deontay Wilder is coming from one of the poorest regions in the United States of America, in Alabama, right? A place where education is extremely neglected. So you have to consider the socioeconomic factors of where Deontay came from to understand that, yes, he's not going to be the most articulate guy. He's not going to have the vernacular of a Harvard scholar. But this is boxing. So what? We understand what Deontay's trying to say. When he said that, it reminds me of all those individuals, the bourgeois elite, and a lot of racist individuals. A lot of racist individuals, when they try to talk, they try to act like they don't understand what a person's saying because they have a certain drawl or a certain twang with how they talk. So they try to talk down on them try to play this like he's dumb card. They keep talking about having any brain cells. He got 5 brain cells between me and you both. That type of stuff, I don't like. Trash talk is fine. You can talk trash. You can talk violently back and forth against one another, as long as you're not talking about attacking a person's children or their wives or anybody else outside of that. Talk mano y mano, that's fine. But what I have a problem with is when you're speaking a rhetoric that supports, the attack of black men's intellectual abilities. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. When you're speaking a rhetoric that supports sentiments that a lot of racist individuals have used to talk down on the black man, I don't appreciate that. So when Dominic Breazeale said, I need the Urban Dictionary to hear what you're saying, I'm like, bro, if you don't get this clown stuff out of here, family, you trying to talk about you a black man trying to talk down on another black man's speech, saying you don't understand his urban talk and all of that. You sound like a whole clown, bro. And he lost me with that one, because that was a low blow. And people might say, oh, you're exaggerating all of that. You not black, you don't understand. I'm not saying it's black people that don't understand. I'm not saying it's non-black people that don't understand. I'm not saying it's only black people that understand this. What I'm saying is, if you can't see anything wrong with it, you just have to be a black man or a black person in general to understand where I'm coming from with that. Because when you have Dominic Breazeale saying that, it's like, nah, family. I already deal with individuals. You already see individuals in Deontay Wilder's comments of YouTube videos, of his interviews, of his Instagram pictures, talking about the way he talks, calling them dumb, calling them monkey, calling them all type of names and all of that, and then talking about how he can't talk and he's just this dumb guy. Every time he talks, They lose brain cells and all that type of stuff. So him saying that, I'm like, really, dog? Really? Really? That's how you feel? That Urban Dictionary talk? Because that's the same type of talk, Dominic, if you came from Alabama, they'd be saying the same thing about you, family. They'd be saying the same thing about you. So I know how it is and I went to great schools in Chicago, but I've had friends that didn't go to the best schools. They couldn't talk as articulate, and I wouldn't dare try to clown and make fun of them because of that. So I'm like, nah, family, that's some clown stuff there. You off cold with that one. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel that at all, because he gives credence for other individuals outside of the black community to talk about the way Deontay talks and let it be like it's free game because Dominic Breazeale did it. Nah, I don't fool with that. Then Dominic in there talking about your side piece. What, bro? Come on, that's another thing too. Don't be out here trying to talk about another man's personal matters as far as it goes with relations. You trying to throw that man whole, like you trying to tear that man relationship up, trying to reveal some, oh, you got side piece. I'm like, bro, who does that? What man talks about another man's alleged infidelities to the world so he can get in trouble, at home and all that? Who try to create that type of stuff? You know what I mean? Other than that, it was a great press conference, great back and forth. I'm interested to know, did Dominic Breazeale really try to sue Deontay? As a fighter, that's shaky. A fighter trying to sue another fighter, that is shaky, especially if you are a heavy, not even just a heavyweight, you're a fighter in general. So that is like, I don't know, Dominic. People might say, you know what, Malcolm, you biased because you're a Deontay Wilder fan. I absolutely am a fan of Deontay Wilder. I will admit that, but I also will admit that it is questionable for Deontay to give up $100 million to leave that on the table. You're like, man, why you leave that type of bread in the air? But Deontay wants to stay loyal to Showtime. He wants to stay loyal to the people he's been riding with. And in the process, he's not going to make individuals pay $80, $60 some dollars to watch him fight Dominic Breazeale. His mandatory, when he knows that's not the fight that everybody really, really wants to see. But I must admit, the way that this press conference went today, a lot more people are going to tune in due to the back and forth that they had, the interaction that they had. It was magnetizing. And I think he's going to draw a lot of people to the fight strictly off of the bad blood. And this is real bad blood. I can tell this is real. This is nothing rehearsed. I can look at it. This is real bad blood. And he's going to draw a lot of fanfare to it because of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is what it is, man. But Dominic Breazeale, that whole thing with I wasn't feeling that. The Urban Dictionary. I didn't know you was bourgeois. You don't understand African-American lingo. You didn't understand the inner city lingo. Or, you don't understand. You think Deontay has a slang that it's not of the King's English. It's not becoming of the King's American English. And I'm like, what? You know what that man's saying? I have to pull out the Urban Dictionary. I'm still on that because that's such a low blow and that's corny to me. That's corny to me. As many people do that to him, you doing that? A black man, family? Come on, man. Get it together, dog. I looked at that like, he think that's cool? He thought that was cool to say? He thought that was cool. Like, nah, bro. Nah. And then bringing up that man's side piece, all that type of stuff. That sounds like something his wife told him to say when he went up there. Like Dominic's wife told him to say when he went up there. So, I wasn't feeling that. But I don't know, man. We're going to see how this goes. Dominic had a great knockout the last fight. Very great knockout last fight. But Dominic swings. He's very slow. And I don't know, man. I don't know if he can handle that athleticism and that power from Deontay Wilder. As skilled as Tyson Fury was, or is, rather, Deontay Wilder got 2 knockdowns. And Tyson Fury wasn't rushing into that rematch. Not saying he's scared to do it, but he's handling it with precaution. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. He would rather make his money on these other fights and try to do that probably towards the end of that contract rather than do it immediately, which is what everyone wanted to see. So that lets me know Deontay power is real. And he didn't hit Tyson with a super flush shot that I've seen him hit other individuals with. Because if he did, Tyson may have not gotten up. And all credit to his chin, because he got up from a hell of a tough shot anyway. But I don't think that was a very flush shot that Deontay hit him with. I feel like if he hit him with something real, something really real, a clean, super clean shot, I don't know if Tyson would have got up. And that's my opinion, man. But yeah, man, Dominic just lost me with that one though. Like, you doing that? Cause I see everybody jumping on the way he talk, and it just make me so mad because a part of me feel like that's an attack on that's an attack on the black man, especially the Southern. I'm not even a Southern black man, but I went to school down there, and I know individuals that talk that aren't as articulate as Deontay. I know individuals who talk like him that struggle because they weren't afforded the same resources that other individuals that come from privileged areas and revered or esteemed schools. They didn't come from that same type of background, so they're not going to have the best education to speak so eloquently. And that's the whole BS that we got to talk. You got to talk the way they want you to talk. And if you don't, it's something wrong with you, and we're going to laugh at you because you don't talk how we feel you should talk. So I don't feel that. But I do know one thing, man. It's definitely gonna be a dope fight. And when Deontay said, "I'm not gonna punch at him, I'm gonna punch through him" to Breazeale, I say, yeah. This is gonna be one to tune in for, man. It's gonna be one to tune in for. Dominic Breazeale definitely has power, and I know anything could happen in boxing. But I'm rolling with the Bronze Bomber because I've been seeing him doing it consistently. Even though he didn't win against Tyson Fury, and I admitted that. Still got 2 knockdowns, and that power, we know Dominic Breazeale can't move like Tyson Fury. So that's all I got to say, y'all. Peace.